Hey, yo, everybody. Welcome to the Amalgam Games Lab. We're back. We're not dead. You can't kill us.
Not even sinus infections.
Sinus infections, stitches, my own wedding. Nothing will stop me. I am alive and we are here. God almighty.
I like the implication that your wedding will kill you.
It will. This wedding will be the death of me. Welcome to the Games Lab, where we talk games of the gaming industry. I'm your host, Shannon alongside Keena Johnston.
I am here also.
Yes.
I've also been dying, but under different
circumstances. Uni.
Backache. I played Dragon Quest like this for a little bit, and then I got a headache. I fucking hate my spinal system.
Yeah, it's bad. Spines are the worst.
I can't wait till cybernetics are a real thing.
Yes. When I can replace this with a digital version of it, I will. We'll jump into the game soon, but before that, some housekeeping. If you like what you're about to watch, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you don't like what you're about to watch, but think someone else would, hit the share button. See if there's anyone else who likes it. You can also comment down below or email us at amalgamshow@gmail.com. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/amalgamshow and check out the website www.amalgamshow.com. We're also on social media, all the big ones, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at The Amalgam Show. Haha, nailed it all. Right, so it's been a while. What, about a month? Maybe longer? Since we did a Games Lab specifically?
I think since Games Lab, we haven't done one since the end of E3, which would have been like halfway through June.
Yeah, almost 2 months ago. Honestly, it wasn't like I was sitting there going, oh, we have to do one, because like E3 always does this. It just kind of died.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of stopped happening.
There was like layoffs and stuff like there usually are, and then there was like...
Oh, that's so depressing.
Just across the industry, and then there's like...
layoffs.
Oh, there's a couple of other things. Epic Games shit.
Yeah.
Digital shit.
Stuff that
is now an indie game I now know about.
Yeah. It was stuff where like I was looking at the news and going, well, this kind of stuff is just continually building on stuff that we've already seen.
Yeah.
And things that we've already given our opinion on.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, well, we hasn't had much.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff to talk about in terms of what we've been playing.
Yeah.
And
I've been building up quite a collection of things I've finished.
Yes, and this is some stuff that we need to talk about, specifically about things that you've finished. But also, we do need to go through our E3 predictions.
Yes.
Do I have them on me?
I've got both of them.
Okay, wonderful.
I prepared one earlier. So,
okay.
The way it works, the small prediction, 1 point.
The easy
medium,
one.
2, 3, worth 3 points.
Yeah.
The biggest one was 3 points. And then, because I'm me, I also break them down into decimal points.
Okay.
Which means adding decimal points at the end gives me points like 2.99.
Okay, awesome. Great.
So that was fun calculating all that. But so let's just run through them quickly. Microsoft for me, we'll do me and then you. Okay. That's how the documents are. Mm-hmm. They will discuss next gen on stage. A codename will be revealed. Ninja Theory will show a new game running on it. 2 out of 3 points on that.
Yeah.
Which
so 2/3.
Not bad because Ninja Theory's new game was shown, just not running on it. Which.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sad about Ninja Theory's new multiplayer game.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
What was it called? Blood.
I don't know.
Anarchy. Oh god, it looked so bad. It looks so bad.
Prepare to see it again at XO19.
It was
that's the thing that's happening.
Oh yeah.
In
what was
London?
it? It was.
It's like Overwatch meets...
It was like Overwatch meets Anarchy Reigns meets Borderlands.
Yeah.
And all of the writing you would expect from that too. Just like, you think fucking gonna kick you in the dick.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
A new DC Comics game would be revealed from either WB Montreal or Rocksteady. No.
Nah, no Rocksteady. Rocksteady's still MIA.
Yes. Gamescom? Game Awards?
Game Awards, maybe?
That's usually where they announce stuff, but I've been predicting that for the last... Since, 2017.
No, I get the feeling more and more as, there's probably something that I do want to talk about E3 related later on, but I more and more get the feeling that if Rocksteady announce something, they'll do it independently.
Yeah,
in February, they'll just be like, and we're announcing this instead of...
I was going to say like a Game Informer cover, but...
Oh, R.I.P.
That does really suck, that situation. But
yeah.
Could have... Well, the whole industry said that was going to happen, so...
Oh, yeah. Writing's been on the wall for a while, but Andy McNamara, the head of that company, just seems to be... He's like a cockroach. He just won't go away. He's fantastic. He's a wonderful human being. I never met the man, but interviews and things that I've seen of him just seem like he's the kind of guy who's just like, well, take another licking, let's go. Like, he just keeps trucking. Yeah. So, you know.
And then final one from Microsoft, Fable 4 will be announced. It'll be called Fable. It'll be a launch title alongside Halo Infinite. I was wrong about all of that, except Halo Infinite is a launch title. Yeah. 2.99 for whatever reasons, I don't remember.
Okay.
This made the score. We'll go with the scoring when I was actually in the math mode. So now that I'm not double checking. Let's go. Bethesda, Arcane Studio, and Tango Games Work will reveal their new games. The former will have a new IP with no set release date, and the latter will be The Evil Within 3. I was wrong. Tango Gameworks did reveal their new game. It is the new IP.
Yes.
Arcane wasn't there.
Yeah.
0.25. A substantial new Starfield trailer will be shown off. Still no release date. Wrong. And then my crazy one, designed to make Shannon laugh. Andrew WK will be at Bethesda's press conference again alongside a hologram version of Andrew WK squared. There will also be a pre-order skin in Doom Eternal. Total, that didn't happen. And then total 2.5.
Cool.
0.25.
Yep.
Ubisoft. Just Dance will open the show. It didn't.
It didn't.
I was so surprised.
Oh, yes. I was disappointed with that.
Yes, because it usually does. And it's just like, let's just get this out of the way. It's nice.
Yeah.
Instead of they put it in the middle of the show, I'm like, it's still fun to see this, but we put it at the start.
Yeah.
Yves Guillemot will have his phone hacked as the Watch Dogs 3 trailer rolls in. Season 2 of Assassin's Creed Odyssey will be announced. Wrong on all of that.
Yeah. They just kind of blasted through all of it. I don't think there is no AC Odyssey Season 2, is there?
Not yet, no.
No, yeah. Weird.
Mario plus Rabbids 2 will be announced. Splinter Cell will not be there. I don't know how I got away with this prediction. There's two different predictions. That you could just split the vote
but the
on.
thing is, you had to get both to get the 1 point, or did you? No.
Yeah, for the full total point. I don't know why I gave myself a 1 there. Oh no, Splinter Cell will not be there.
Yeah, okay, so you got 1.
You still got half a point.
Yeah, okay.
Which is
Amalgam math, ladies and gentlemen.
Prince of Persia will be rebooted and shown to be like Assassin's Creed of old, like plus Tomb Raider and Arkham. It will have a March 2020 release date. It will be called The Prince of Persia. 0.
Yeah.
For a total of 1 point.
1. Yay.
Square Enix will reveal a bunch of new ports. Type 0 on Switch, 13 Trilogy on Switch, PS4 and Xbox with back compat. 14 on Switch since DCUO just came out. 0.
I would be happy with giving you like a quarter point on that because they announced 8.
But that's the thing. I was so convinced that 8 was never happening.
Yeah.
So, but now that it is, I'm happy to be wrong. But also,
fair enough. Yeah. I was saying because you like a bunch of new ports. I'm like, well, 8's the biggest thing. Like that's the biggest deal.
Yeah.
It's holy shit.
Along with the trailer and release date, Kingdom Hearts will be there. No.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
Yeah, there was DLC.
There was so much Avengers shit.
Yeah, and it started off with
and I mean
shit.
7.
Yeah,
like just fuck all. Yeah.
Platinum Games has 3 games in the work: Astral Chain, Bayonetta 3, and Babylon Falls. The latter
we didn't see any of them, did we?
No, Astral Chain was
it only
Nintendo.
Yeah, it was only a Nintendo.
That'll have an extensive gameplay story. February 2020. None of my stuff happened here.
Yeah, none of the old
stuff. What is it? Yeah, Yoko, the head of the feed will cut back, and Yoko Taro will be staring to the camera for 7 unsettling long seconds. Forgot that's specific.
Yeah, that was
before revealing the sequel to Nier Automata. That didn't happen.
No.
Nintendo Direct. Metroid Prime Trilogy will be announced for Switch. It will be remastered in the same vein as Wind Waker.
No.
Wind Waker. Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD will be announced for the Switch. Nope. Ocarina. I just wanted a bunch of Zelda games. That didn't happen. Phil Spencer and Doug Bowser will appear on screen together. They announced the Banjo-Kazooie will be an upcoming Smash Bros. Ultimate. And a trailer for the next Banjo game will be shown.
Cool. So you got the Banjo-Kazooie part, but nothing else. Yep.
And that's nothing.
0.33, yep.
And then I had a bunch of extra shit that were not...
Okay, so your total score was 4.57.
Yes.
Out of a possible what?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't think of that.
Okay. Right. All right.
No. Okay, and then Shannon's predictions. Do you want to read them out?
Yeah, sure. I had a Gears 5 release date for the Microsoft press conference. We got that.
I gave you the point because I think it was like before the show, but after the predictions. I'm like, I couldn't.
Because it happened in the pre-show because they had all those fucking wrestlers underneath the stage that were playing Gears in like some hole, and they were like trapped there. And as far as we could tell, they were there for the entire presentation, all like 2.5 hours of it. Yep. Just to Xavier Woods being like,
Xavier was just like everywhere on the internet. He pops up like he's on kind of funny content every now and then.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. I had a Fable announcement as well. No Fable. And I predicted they would buy Konami. They didn't. Who did they buy? They bought someone.
Was it Obsidian? Or was that earlier?
Was it officially announced or something like that? I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think it was Obsidian, because that was... Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But for Bethesda, I had the awkward Fallout reference. That happened several times during that. Wolfenstein 3 reference, there was nothing that I could see.
No, and nothing, I didn't see any reports.
Yeah, apart from if you count Youngblood as an entirety, because that seems to be some sort of reference towards 3, but not entirely clear right now.
It wasn't a reference at E3. The game itself is.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And the public flogging of Todd Howard, which...
I gave you 2 points because it was self-flagellation.
Yeah, he was... Oh, man. That press conference did make me happy. If you haven't checked it out, we have got our reactions, like live streamed or recorded reactions to that on the channel. If you want to see me just gleefully watching Bethesda break down in front of my eyes. For Ubisoft, I had DLC for Trials, which I was surprised wasn't there, weirdly enough.
I'll probably make another one. 2021.
Yeah, the over-serious Ghost Recon.
There were 2 trailers for Ghost Recon, and they were both over-serious. Yeah. That's what you get with John Berthnall.
Yes, exactly.
And whatever the fucking zombie game was that's happening.
Yes. God damn it. And then I thought that they perhaps may take another Nintendo franchise and make something dumb with it, like a Zelda MOBA. That didn't happen either. That would have been fun, though. It
would have been very interesting. If it was... Honestly, if it was like Baby's first MOBA, like
Mario and Rabbids is.
Like for a tactics game, I'd give that a go, because MOBAs always seem interesting, but they always seem so fucking...
But seem intimidating.
Yeah, exactly.
For the Square Enix, I had myself with the Final Fantasy VII Remake release date, which did get announced.
It was like at...
It was at the thing beforehand?
It was at the Symphony concert.
Yeah, Symphony.
I'll count that because Nomura always does that. I think I did give you shit at the time, and I'm like, nah, I'll allow it.
Thanks. I thought that Nier for the Switch would be announced. That was not, and neither was a third pillar RPG. I was hoping, against all hope, that they would come up with something that's not Final Fantasy, not Dragon Quest, that would be something different that they could put themselves towards. Maybe they're banking on that Avengers game, but boy, oh boy...
I saw the gameplay that came out. I'm like, this looks better. Like, everyone's designs look a little bit better, but it just looks like a PS2 game, just really pretty. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, we'll see what the gameplay is like. That's the thing, though, is that how does it feel to actually play that fucking game?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with Spider-Man. The whole reason that thing works is because it's fun to play. It is so fun to play, even though the actual... What you're actually doing may not sound exciting, but when you're actually swinging through that city and seeing it as it goes along and doing the combat and being Spider-Man, that's the best thing about that game. And the story just complements that because you are embodying the character in so many ways. So if it's fun to play, then I can see it doing well. But at the moment, it just looks like a brawler.
Yeah.
Like a
it looks like Ultimate Alliance HD.
Yeah.
Which we already got Ultimate Alliance this year.
Yeah. For Nintendo, I had Animal Crossing with an uncomfortably long presentation. They didn't go with that, which...
It was brief and
good,
but multiplayer.
I think it wasn't too long after this, or even during it, they pushed back Animal Crossing because it's now in Q1.
It was during the... It was the trailer they showed during the...
Yeah, because it was really brief, and they were like, we're pushing it back. I'm like, okay, cool.
And then they explained it like, hey, we just need more time. Games are hard to make.
Yes.
But we want to make sure that the best... I'm like... I was really hoping it would be this year because I just want to play Animal Crossing, but I am sort of glad it's February, I think, next year.
Yeah.
I'm just like, cool, I'll chill with that.
Yeah, next year. My second prediction was Doug Bowser would appear and be hilarious, which he was. Like, it was a fun way to introduce him. They had the whole, it's Bowser, and then animated Bowser comes out with a tie and just be like, like that's... Oh, God, Nintendo. Yeah. Sometimes you make me so happy. And then my crazy one was an F-Zero remake, which that ain't happening. No. But hey, that gives me a total of 9.
Which you win.
Which is better than what I did last year. Because I think last year I had, trash. It was just like, fuck. But this year was a little bit easier to like again with the easy predictions, I tried to not make them like the easiest.
Dead easy. Yeah,
dead easy.
Because like the Final Fantasy VII remake thing, that could have easily not been a. They could have easily not shown it, given Square's track record.
Oh,
but
yeah, 100%.
Now that like we're after E3, everything's like cool. They are on track to get this out, and holy shit, they're on track.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird to think about Square Enix being on track and doing something that their fans want them to do.
Yeah, we haven't actually talked about 7 remake. It looks perfect.
You got both sides of the equation in that Square Enix press conference, though. You had the start with 7, where you're like, holy shit, they're doing it. Then you got the end with the Avengers, where you're like, Square, what are you doing?
I think that's more of a Crystal thing, just being, I don't know, trying something that's not Tomb Raider for the first time.
No, I don't know. Its announcement was also structured in that really weird Square Enix way, where like everyone talked just a little bit too long about what they were doing, about how they were doing this, and they were doing that thing of like they were reintroducing us to the Avengers. Yeah. Like, we just fucking went through Endgame. Everyone knows who the fucking Avengers are. Yeah. Chill out, calm down.
And, like, they're not that different from... Like, your versions aren't that different from the film versions.
No, your difference aren't that different from the comic characters. Yeah, it's all just the same. It's just like, you're trying to tweak it, and we get it, you can't get the likenesses.
Which I wouldn't want. I want them to do their own thing.
That thing did bug me about a lot of people being like, it's not real Iron Man. I'm like, fuck off. Like, you don't need... Like, I don't want that. I don't want Robert Downey Jr. in the game.
No.
I don't
even
want Tom
his
Holland.
likeness or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I want this to be its own universe because they... Yeah.
Because Robert Downey Jr. is the movie Tony Stark. And that's what he will always be.
This is, like, I've been on board with alternate universe stuff for ages.
Make it different.
Just like, boom, boom, boom. And that's why, like... I see adaptations as just a different universe of the same events.
Make it different, make it unique. That's the only thing I can say about that. But yeah, on the whole, E3 was like fine. People were like, oh, it's boring E3. I'm like, no, this is just the E3 before new consoles are launched. Yeah. That's all it was. It was just like games. Games. I
don't remember it that well, but it does give me 2012 E3 vibes.
Yep. No, it does. It does.
I'm just like, which was... Like my the first E3 I paid attention to, but I didn't know how to pay attention to it properly.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, cool. And then, I'm just like, wasn't that... To me, the highlight of that was Dishonored.
Yes.
It was something completely new to me. I'm like, oh my god,
I mean,
Dishonored.
Depending on the ESA still exists next year.
We'll see.
Because holy shit. But depending on that and how that works, what you were expecting, like, based on the previous generation, like the way that cycle went, this year will be like 2012. It's a little bit Next year will be fucking crazy because it'll be the console reveals, or even if they've already revealed
more blowout.
Yeah, they'll be like they may have already revealed it in previous events like Sony did.
Yeah.
But there'll be a lot more like, this is what it'll do, this is how it'll work, here's the controller, here's this, here's that.
The price, here's the release date.
Here's the 12 different special editions you can get, day one, like all this shit happening. So next year will be hype. And then the following year will also be a down year, because it's just, well, the consoles are out, people are buying them, here's games.
But they're not games that are specific. Oh.
They're not games that are coming out now. Like 2014 was one of the weirdest E3s I've ever seen.
And also, just one of the weirdest years.
Because that also tends to be the year where they, where all companies just put out like a fuck ton of stuff and half of it never eventuates. Yeah. Because it's all early generation stuff. Like, we're going to do this, this, and this, and then like just cut it all. Goodbye, see you later.
Is NAC... I'll just ask it. Is NAC 3 a launch title?
Yes, NAC 3 is a launch title.
Cool.
It's 100% a launch title. That and Resogun 2.
I would like that. I like Resogun.
Resogun was neat. It was the only thing I played on my PlayStation for like 6 months when I first got the goddamn thing. I had it on launch.
I had Black Flag.
So did I.
Yeah. Black Flag and Resogun.
But the thing is, I had Black Flag. That was when I had my Assassin's Creed down. Dip off, where I was like...
3 will do that to you.
Yeah, like I played it and all my friends were like, this is amazing. So me and my friends had the opposite experience where Assassin's Creed 3, I was hyped for it. I thought it was awesome. I went into it.
I was watching like developer diaries. Like, look how he's like legs falling down when he's on top of the snow and buildings and shit like that. I'm like, this is going to be the best Assassin's Creed ever.
Yeah, I picked up the collector's edition of that game.
I got that stupid statue of Connor.
Yep, it's packed away somewhere. And I blasted through it in a weekend. And got to the end of it and was like, that was fine. Another friend of mine was moderately hyped for it.
Yeah.
But it took him weeks, months to finish that game. Because he was just playing it in little bursts. Yeah. And when he finished it, he was like, that was amazing. And I was like, you fucking what? the opposite reaction then happened to Black Flag, where he was super hyped for that one. He picked it up and he blasted through that in a weekend and was like, yeah, that was okay. It was a good Assassin's Creed game. I didn't actually finish that game for a full year until it came, like after it came out. It was in the lead up to Unity that I was like,
I should go back.
I should probably play that Black Flag game. So after like 9 months of it sitting on my shelf collecting dust, I played it all through and was like, actually, holy shit, that game was amazing.
I will say that the story of Black Flag is a little bit meh, but like playing that game is where it's at. The ship open world shit. And
I mean, I liked the story of Edward.
It was fine. There was a couple of cool twists and stuff, but
it wasn't like the big story that I was wanting out of Assassin's Creed, but there was like a more personal story that I really enjoyed, and it got me super hyped for Unity, which has killed my entire love of that series ever since. Like, I have not touched an Assassin's Creed game.
Fair.
Why? The last Assassin's Creed game I touched was Origins, which I picked up earlier this year and played like 10 hours of it. And was still like, Unity just killed it for me.
That sucks. Because, I do think like Origins and Odyssey, like just some of the best action RPGs, period.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. If you
can't get into them, you can't get into them.
I just can't find myself caring about them anymore.
That's fair.
Oh, well, let's talk about some games I do care about. How do we...
Yes. So what have you been up to? What have you been playing?
So, I finished up Dragon Quest XI.
Cool.
Echoes of an Elusive Age. Which Dragon Quest subtitles are great. We've talked about that on the other podcast. They're great. I really enjoyed that. It was fantastic. It was the RPG I needed at the time. I will go back to do post-game stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm almost like, it's a double-sided thing of like, that game, I think by game's end was 75 hours.
Jesus.
And, granted, I was trying to do everything, like everything I could physically do. But there's a couple of things that irk me about that game. One is that there's a bunch of, like, chests and items and things in the world that, like I said, I've done everything that I can possibly find, and I cannot open them until post-game.
Okay.
So all of these things will become unlocked to me in post-game. And I'm like, why? Well, you've got it's literally on the map, like a big old lock symbol in front of it, and I can't get to it until I finish the fucking story, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
And then the other side of it is that I am increasingly the person who's like, why is post-game a thing for single-player story games? I get it for games that primarily multiplayer or have a competitive aspect to it where you want more to do outside of the storyline.
Yep.
But like post-game, for me, this is just my brain. Like, post-game, I'm done with the game. Like when I finish your story, I'm done. You go on the shelf, the next game in the line. If the story in Dragon Quest XI was longer and it was like a 150-hour game with all this extra like post-game content slapped in the middle of it, then I would be more inclined to go and keep playing that game. But at the 70-hour mark, I'm done. Like I've had my fill. I will come back to it later. But I've got more pressing games I want to play right now. Specifically one. But yeah, Dragon Quest XI was like, you playing it a little bit of it.
Yeah, I started day before yesterday when the demo came out on the eShop.
Yeah.
I downloaded it, checked it out. I'm like, it's good, like, and it looks pretty. The only thing I think I noticed that's technically maybe inferior is that like the grass sometimes takes a little bit low to pop in, like the not the grass, like the flowers and shit.
Yeah,
you can see them popping in when they're like really close to you. Like that's odd, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean the way the graphics are in that game, it's not really like a little bit of texture pop isn't going to break your immersion. Yeah. It's cel-shaded. It looks like Dragon Ball. It's fine.
And it looks like brilliant. Like every time I see a new character, I'm like, that's Akira Toriyama design.
Yes, yeah. It's so pretty. It's so... there are some like vistas in that game that are stunning. That are just moments where I was like looking out over the horizon of this world going like, fuck. Yeah. And like they... It is like people have been like, oh, Dragon Quest has always been pitched as like Final Fantasy if made by Toriyama kind of thing. Yeah. And it is. Yeah. Like there are so many moments in that where you're like, all right, so they did this bit. And then they did this, all right, cool. And you get all of those moments from like Final Fantasy 1 through 6.
Yeah.
with the Toriyama design over the top of it, which makes it fun.
Yeah.
It still irks me that the protagonist is unvoiced.
Yeah.
It's still frustrating. But yeah,
the thing I've liked so far in the 2 hours that I've played it, it is literally the best of both classic or traditional JRPGs and modern RPGs. In terms of like, you go to the options and you can turn the character's voice off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. You can turn, you can change between like orchestral or synthesized music arrangements. You can do. It's just like whatever like you want the game to be. You can go classic like the camera angles in the battles, or you can do like a free camera thing.
Yeah.
It's just like all these things. Like if you want the classic experience, you can get it. If you want to mix, I'm like, this is great.
Yeah. That's why I liked it so much, because I got what I wanted, which was I got the traditional RPG. 2 lines, enemies, allies, run up, smack them in the face, get back in line. I got that. But with the nice, pretty graphics. Yeah. And it looked great and gorgeous. And I was like, oh, thank you. This is what I've always wanted. It's what I've wanted Final Fantasy to do for so long.
Yeah.
But they just refuse to be like, no, RPGs are dead. I'm like, oh, fuck you.
And that's the thing, like, playing it, I'm like, this is... Because I've been bouncing around a fuck ton of Final Fantasy games. I'm, like, whiplashing between 9 and 13.3.
Yeah.
And then...
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah. And this is, classic... like 1 through 5 Final Fantasy, but it is like, it is beautiful. I'm like, this is great. Like I wish, there aren't too many AAA JRPGs. There's a lot of AA and maybe A.
Yeah.
And then like there's Bright, and they've got like animated pictures and dialogue boxes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can never get into those games unless they're on a handheld.
Yeah.
And usually I don't care about, because they usually have weird Japanese stories as opposed to like Dragon Quest, which is, this is just a fucking fantasy game.
Oh yeah,
Let's go.
yeah.
I guess they twist it and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
it's tropey as fuck, but it's so good.
Yeah, just playing it, I'm like, this is just good. This is what the world needs. I'm glad it's on Switch. But the funny thing the Switch does is it gives in-game achievements, which just, and it'll say like, boom, like it'll have the same.
Yeah, it does that on the PS4 version too.
Yeah, okay, but it also pops the trophy.
Yeah. It does both. Well, it depends, because some of the achievements don't have trophies tied to them.
Interesting.
So
okay.
So some of the achievements will pop, and you'll be like, oh, cool, and sometimes it'll pop, and then the trophy pops, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah. When those achievements pop, I'm like, I'm not getting a trophy.
Yeah.
Which is, I kind of want to turn them off, but they always have the musical sting that I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes the musical stings are a little bit too long. Like when I finally got, like Eric finally revealed himself. I'm like, you really? Your name's Eric?
Yes.
And then it's just like, I'm Eric, let's go. And then it's 15 seconds. Like,
yes.
I get it, mate.
He's standing there staring at the screen, doing his like animation, like his idle animation, and it keeps going, and you're like, can I hit the X button yet? And like, just everything in that game just takes just that little bit too long.
Yeah.
His name is Eric. Makes sense later on.
Okay.
Like actually, which is actually the fun part about the game, is that every character you meet, there's moments where you're like, this is weird, this is dumb, what is this? And all of it makes sense. Like they actually explain like each individual character and give them a backstory and a reason as to why they are the way they are. And some of them are like, oh, fun, that's nice. And some of them hit like a gut punch.
Yeah. Shit.
Which are really, really good.
Yeah.
Like it's again, I haven't had a JRPG experience like this in a while.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is I just finished the dragon, running away from the dragon sequence under the castle.
Yeah.
And then Eric's just like, why is there a dragon under the castle? And then they just walk away. And I'm like, that's going to be a plot thread that's picked up later. Because like I pointed out like, oh, that's actually a good question. Why is there? Like, well, this is going to be picked up later, isn't it?
Yes.
At least, it's not necessarily a big thread, but it will be explained.
Basically, anytime that there's a question in there is either a quest or a side quest that will answer it. And one of the big things is, I don't know if you've ran into any of the books or anything like that.
I had no Dragon Quest experience before this.
No, sorry. In Dragon Quest XI, when you're doing the JRPG thing of like bursting into people's houses and stealing their shit, which is my favorite part about this game.
That is immersion breaking. I don't know why in this game specifically. Usually I'm like, in like 2D versions, I'm fine, I'll do it. But in this, I'm like, I don't know. It
Yeah.
just can. I don't know why.
So you go in, you're like looking through their drawers, opening up their cupboards. Smashing the pots thing is my favorite part. Because if you do it in a public area where there are people around, they go like, huh? Oh. Like they actually react to you somewhat. Like that's perfect.
My favourite thing so far is that like I've been picking up pots in people's houses and there hasn't been too much reaction to it. But when you do it when you're in your cell, either the guards or Eric is like, stop that, stop making a racket.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I didn't think there was like sound physics in this.
No, it actually works. Like they do enough little things here and there that you're like, okay guys, like nice work there. But yeah, like busting into people's houses and all that kind of stuff it's so weird, but kind of fun.
Yeah.
But when you go into those houses or any sort of like area, there may be a bookshelf, and that'll do that. You know, it's kind of like how you know what part of the mountain's gonna blow up in Dragon Ball Z because it's animated differently. There's one book that'll be animated differently. Like, okay, cool, I can read that one.
Yeah.
And when you read that, sometimes there'll be quest-specific information, like blah 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 is located here and yada yada. Sometimes it will be just general lore and history of the world, which can actually be really fascinating. There are some moments there where I was reading it and I was like, I think that's incest. And I also think I just read about a genocide. Not sure about that one. Okay, I'll just keep moving. Like they really do a lot of world building in those little texts. So if you get the chance to read a few of them, do.
Yeah.
Not all of them are great. Some of them are a bit dry. Some of them are just like. Some of them read like books of the Bible where it's like blah 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 begat blah 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 begat blah 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 begat blah blah blah. You're like, oh fuck off. But some of them are truly fascinating, and a lot of those books will give you recipes for forging and recipes for making new items and all this other shit that, like, again, systems upon systems upon systems upon systems in that game. It's a fucking nightmare sometimes. My biggest gripe with the actual game as a whole in terms of its mechanics is its skill tree.
Okay, I just unlocked that.
Yeah. Early game, it's fine, but the number of points to unlock abilities rapidly increases.
I had a feeling that was going to be the case.
And the number of skill points you get per level does not exponentially increase in the same way. So there have been times where, and it's really frustrating, where I'll be like, towards the end of the game, I was like level 50-ish. But I'll get from level 46 to 47, like the thing will pop and I'll get my skill points and everything. It's like, blah, 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 like, you received 3 skill points. I'm like, okay. How come I got less skill points from getting from 47 to 48 than I got from getting from 2 to 3? Because some of the early levels, you'll get like 7 or 8 skill points for just going up a level.
Yep.
And the skill points don't seem consistent.
Yep.
And it's frustrating between characters as well, because there's one character in particular who's fucking OP towards the end of the game, and it feels like they earn double to triple the skill points of everyone else.
Okay. There wasn't like an item?
No, there's a storyline reason for it which makes sense, but it breaks that character completely. Yep. Like they are like it is. If they're not on your party, what are you doing?
Oh,
like
shit.
what are you doing here? They should be on your party at all times.
What's the party cap?
4 on the field.
Yep.
There are
8.
There are 8 characters. Oh god, that's spoilers. Kind of. There are 8 characters that you use, but only 7 of them are ever with you at any one time. In your party thing, but you can only ever have 4 on the field.
Yeah.
And how they do that is really interesting. The way that actually plays out, the way the characters weave in and out of the story and who you have on your party is actually incredible. I really enjoy that. And
because usually that's annoying as fuck.
Usually, yeah, but what they do is... Oh, do you mind about spoilers? Because it's hard to talk.
We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later then. Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll leave it there. But it is a fun thing that I would like to chat to you more about. Other than that, I started another playthrough of Pokemon Diamond.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I just felt like playing something a little bit older in the Pokemon franchise rather than something newer. Sort of in the build-up to Sword and Shield. Everything about that game is looking more and more fantastic. Galarian Weezing is my boy. He looks so good. Top hat, mustache.
Takes in pollution and breathes out clean air.
Yeah, so fucking good. So fucking good. Looking forward to seeing more of that kind of stuff coming out, but
I'm pretty much on media blackout. Like whatever doesn't blow up, I don't see, like the coughing thing. But yeah, like even I check Cerebi, I'm like, I don't care. Like specific stuff. I'll just wait for the game to come out. And
I'm different. Pokemon's like the one thing where I will like watch like a hawk and get every piece of information. Like they've actually done a trailer recently, which is mostly competitive battling stuff, which actually is like, okay, cool. You've never done that before. They've never really marketed to the competitive scene before. This time they have, which is really cool. So they've added like new abilities, new items, sort of just showing off the Dynamax feature in battle as well and how that works. And like, okay, cool. Seems really good, but I just wanted to play a Pokemon game that wasn't newer. So I picked up, I had a copy of Diamond, started playing that, and then suddenly realized like, fuck, Pokemon games used to be hard. Like, used to be really, like comparatively to the newer ones. Like Diamond is, the two things. The rate at which you level up is infinitely slower.
That's what it always... Like Diamond specifically.
I know there were problems with Diamond and Pearl specifically, and they fixed a bunch of those in Platinum anyway. That like a lot of that stuff got changed. Like it just even movement speed was apparently increased in Platinum to make it easier. Well, not easier, but more palatable.
Yeah.
But the problem I'm having with Diamond is that... and this is the thing that people will always say, older generations of Pokemon are better than newer. Bullshit. Even with half the decks possibly gone in Sword and Shield, it will be a better game than Pokemon Diamond, and here's why. I have gone through about half of the gyms in that game now, and every fucking route has the same 3 Pokemon on it. From the beginning all the way to the 4th gym, I am battling Shellos, I am battling Buizel, I am battling Ponyta. That's fucking it. And the occasional Cricketune pops up. Like, the thing with Pokemon is that the thing that I have always wanted it to be is, like, I play through the story, and in my head, this is what Pokemon is. You play through the story once with a group of 6 Pokemon, and then you go, oh, I'm going to start it again, and I'm going to try 6 different Pokemon. But that's not how the game works. You are basically locked into using the same 6 Pokemon every time because there's nothing to choose differently from the early areas, and you have to have the flyer, the this, the that. You have to be able to do all of it. Even picking a different starter is sometimes impossible if you've got favorites that you want to... Like, there's just no variety. And what I've always wanted from the Pokemon game is like, all right, cool, I finished my thing. Can you just let me go back to the start and just grab 6 Pokemon? Or let me, like...
Or New Game Plus and just, like, remix it sort of thing?
Yeah, like the randomizers that people do online are fun, but even they're too much.
Yeah.
Like, because they randomize the entire Pokedex, so you get, like, Moltres on your first route. I'm like, I don't want that.
Still, like,
What I want is, like, the levels of everything to be okay, and for it still to be just, you know, first stage Pokemon in the area, but, you know, let me catch a different thing.
Yeah.
Let me go and, let me try... What if I hit New Game Plus, and instead of a fire, grass, and water starter, it was, like, a dragon, ghost, and fairy starter, or just something different.
Yeah.
So, that's what I want. It's not going to happen in Sword and Shield. This is going to be a Pokemon game. Fucking, whatever.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun, because that's why new Pokemon games are fun, because I don't get that when I buy my Pokemon Diamond, I don't get to have that experience over and over again on that single game. But when I buy the next Pokemon game, yes, new starter, new Pokemon, a whole new region, all this new stuff opens up, and it's going to be fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the Pokemon Diamond playthrough is going fine. It's fine. I enjoy that game.
That's why I want the remake for it. Like, I love Diamond. Like, that's the game I completed the Pokedex on, like the national dex.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a remake. Like DS Green, I have my issues with it. Like, the only way I can play DS is on my 3DS, and then just like there's all this just little things. I might just put it on the Switch.
Yeah. It'll hopefully be the next remake, and it should be.
It should be, unless they just really go ahead with Let's Go Johto, which.
They could do it on a 3-year cycle. Yeah, the thing is, I wouldn't expect Let's Go Johto to be next. I would expect it to be after that.
Yeah.
Like, I would expect Diamond and Pearl remakes to be the next one off the bat, and then you would go to the Let's Go.
Yeah.
And then by that point, you've given the original Sword and Shield development team 3 years to release Generation 9.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, Pokemon has become an annualized series.
Which it's been annual for a pretty while. For a while.
Well,
mostly for
Yeah, but they've skipped years.
Yeah.
They haven't actually stumbled upon a formula where they can actually annualize it, which they can now.
Yeah.
If they stick to a 3-year development cycle and you get new gen, remake, let's go. New gen, remake, let's go. And you can do that ad infinitum.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I've been playing is just recently, literally within the last couple of daes, I picked up a copy of Fire Emblem Three Houses.
How is that going?
It's fucking incredible. That game's so good. That game is... Oh, I never thought I would enjoy a tactics dating sim. Fucking hell, that game. It's okay, so... Fire Emblem, obviously, like the tactics game combat. I have not done the traditional version. I'm on casual, normal. I'm not doing the permadeath mode.
Okay.
Mostly because, like, I am prone... Like, this game does have a mechanic where you can go back 3 turns.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Roundabouts, and you can, like, increase that. So you got a thing where you hit the button on the field, and it's not just... It's really, really cool, actually. It's very granular. So it's 3 turns. So, like, you go... and your enemy goes, that's a turn.
Yep.
Then you go, your enemy goes, that's a turn. You go, enemy goes, that's your turn. When you hit the button to go back and see through those 3 turns, what it actually does is it lists out each move in order that happened in that turn, because you have 10 units on the field.
Yeah.
So you moved this one here, and then that one there, and then this one here and attacked that one, and then you moved this one over here, and then you healed here, and then it was the enemy's turn. And it will list, like, this one moved here, that one healed there, blah, 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 in reverse order. Yeah. And so if one of your people dies during that, you can think about, like, okay, you can actually, like, hit the button, go through the list, and be like, oh, I moved them there at that point. Okay, so I'm going to slot myself back into the time stream here before I moved them.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to move them, instead of forward to that thing, I'm going to move them off to the side and use their thing from here. Yeah. Then time flows normally from there, and you get to do that. And it's like it's a story trope that they're using as well. So there's a reason why you have that ability, and all will be revealed. It's anime as fuck, and I love it. It's so good. But the strength of the Fire Emblem game, of this particular one, and of Awakening, from what I gather, I'm not, like, I've played a couple of the Fire Emblem games. They're not my favorite series. But the strength of this game in particular are its characters. Like, holy shit. They've just given so much flavor to each individual character, and you have, like, 9 characters in your house. Then there are 9 characters in the 2 other houses each. So that's already, about 27 characters, plus yours, who... The default name is Byleth, which is what I just chose. I just stuck with that. I wasn't going to name him me. This is a good example of an unvoiced character being done well, where he's largely... he or she, you can actually pick either or. He's largely unvoiced, but he has... like flavor text and quips and things that he'll use during the battlefield. So instead of just grunting all the time... When he does a critical, he'll say words. There's a voice actor there. And during cutscenes, he will say lines and words.
It's just few and far between.
Yeah, well, not really few and far between. It's just when you're actually interacting with another character and you're selecting dialogue options, he'll just kind of gesture. But you've seen the words on the screen of what he was going to say, so you know. So it doesn't really need that. So it's like a nice balance where, like, I haven't been annoyed with the fact that he's not voiced fully because when it counts, he is voiced. So cool. But yeah, so you've got Byleth, who's got actually like a decent amount of character to him, especially when you embody him and play through him. You've got the 27 students, then you've got like this host of faculty, host of other characters, and all of them, every single one of them, even if they've only been just introduced or they're a side character, even the like unnamed like Knight 1 on the like friggin' map, they're all of them. You hit A to talk to them. Most of them are voiced. I don't think I've found one that isn't voiced yet. You hit A to talk to them, and just character. Just so much character flowing out of each individual person that there's a knight who's like watches one of the gates, who I love. I don't know his name. They're never going to give me his name. But he's constantly just scared that he's not doing good enough. And he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't see anything last night. And I know that girl got kidnapped. is it my fault? And you're like, no, dude, chill. Did you see anything at all?
Yeah.
No, sorry, man. I'll just get back to... And you're like, oh, dude, okay, it's all right, bro. Just, oh, man, I wish I could comfort him. But all of them have that much character where within the first couple of sentences, and that's what also makes the game sort of... what actually makes it easy to get into is that it's all based on relationships and like, I'm going to give a gift to this person because they like horseback riding or art or anything like that. And it doesn't take more than a couple of sentences for you to figure out what that person's personality is. Yeah. Like within the instant of meeting the 9 members of my house, I knew them all. I was like, I absolutely know which one is who and what you... Yes. Yes. I was happy with my choice too. I picked Black Eagle. God, it's so good. It's so fucking good. All the members of that house are good bar 1, in my opinion. 1 is a complete shit face and I hate him. And the second...
Is he written that way, though? Is he written that way?
This is the interesting thing about it. The way these characters are written, I could see it almost... What do I compare it to? It's almost like Flavors of Ice Cream. I could see any one of these characters being anyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I fucking hate him. But I'm sure there's someone out there who loves him.
Yeah.
His name is Ferdinand, and he's just a dickbag.
Never met a good Ferdinand in my life.
And you never will. But yeah, there are characters that I'm sure that, like, one of my favorite characters at the moment is a character called Bernadetta. And she's so sweet. She's so precious. She's an introvert, a hermit, doesn't come out of her room very often. When she does, she's got like huge anxiety disorders.
That's a whole ass mood.
Like, she'll be outside and she'll just be like talking to herself and someone will be like, hi, and she's like, what? And she'll freak. And then she does that thing that people with anxiety problems have where her thoughts in real time and you watch it happen just spiral out of control, where she's just like, why are you doing that? Were you staring at me? Were you watching me? Are you going to kill me? You're going to kill me. Then she just runs away. And you're like, oh, sweet child. I love her. She's an archer and I'm going to make her a sniper and it's going to be great.
Nice.
She's great.
I love the irony of that. Like, the person with anxiety has to have the most calm.
Yes. Yeah. There's a character in the house named Linhart. He's great. He just likes naps. I like that guy.
You get on board with that?
Yeah. He's also like a little bit... He could use some work. I'm going to try and see what I can do with him.
Is he the purple wiggle? Jeff?
No.
Okay.
No, because he likes naps, but also he's weirdly like cold and calculating.
Oh.
So like he just likes to sleep, but is very callous.
Yeah.
So people will ask him a question and he has no tact.
Yeah.
He just blunt answers, and you're like, dude, like seriously, chill. Fucking. For someone who sleeps a lot, you've got no chill whatsoever. And he doesn't like getting dirty or working too hard, so I turned him into a white mage, basically. You stay back there and heal people, and he's like, yay! I'm like, good.
So do they have roles that they prefer?
Yes, so
That's
this is...
interesting. I like that. As opposed to like stats dictating what you should make your character's personality based. I really like that.
So this is the interesting thing. The really interesting conceit about this game is that you are not a soldier, you're a professor. So you are a teacher at this school.
Yeah.
And there are the 3 houses. So think of them like sporting houses. Yeah. And so you teach whichever one you pick, and they do not give you enough time to make that decision. Like, within the first hour, you are picking which one you're sticking with the entire game.
Yeah.
And you could get an idea of it, but from what I've read and heard about this game, one of the houses in particular presents as one thing, and then you get in and it's not that thing. But they all have their problems. Like, that's the thing, is that like everything in this game is a little bit ambiguous. Like the Black Eagles that I've picked, they represent a kingdom that is an empire, like an honest to goodness, like dark side empire.
Yeah.
One ruler, one everything for the empire type people. But as I've continued to play on the game, and I'm only 15 hours in, and I'm sure, because from what I've heard, this game goes places, I'm sure this is all going to turn around and smack me in the face.
Yeah.
But as it stands, the leader of the house that I'm with, and she is the heir apparent to the Empire, seems to be struggling with what the Empire stands for and what it means to be a leader and a ruler. And she shows moments of self-reflection and moments where I'm like, oh, we can work with that. Don't put that away. Keep that little nugget of anti-fascism. Put it away. We'll work on that later. Whereas then sometimes she will turn around and say something and I'm like, oh God, oh boy. And it's tough because I'm actually starting to really love these people. Like these characters are really, really intense. But you are their professor, so you are teaching them. And it has a really cool way of going about it where it's very restrictive in the start, and I'm sure as I keep leveling up, it'll open up a little bit more. But you can dictate to them, you're going to learn this, you're going to learn that, you're going to learn this. But there are advantages to having them learn things they want to learn in terms of like keeping their motivation up, which allows you to teach them more and teach them longer and get them better skills. But there are also like moments where there's a character named Petra. And this is where it can get frustrating too, because you have to kind of like, you either have to stick by your guns or let the thing play out. It's a character named Petra who, she starts out with like sword and axe.
Okay.
As like her two main focuses. And then as you're teaching them and as they're leveling up, the individual characters will come up to you at some point and say like, hey, I've been thinking, Professor, I want to really do this in battle. So would I be able to focus on this particular aspect to make myself better? Or can I switch to this to figure that out? Like, the reason I've got Linhart doing just the white mage is because he came up to me and he's like, I don't want to get dirty in battle. I just want to learn white magic and just be a bishop. Is that okay? And I was like, yes, go fucking yes. Just go do that. And so you can get them to do that. The thing is, depending on who they are, you can actually kind of see sort of where their tree is going and what's happening. And sometimes you'll look down the path and you'll go, actually, if you were to stick it out with sword and axe, you get this really fucking cool ability, like down at level 20. Just stick with it, please. You can't change. No, you're staying where you are. Or, yes, actually, I need you to switch over to here. So what I did with her was that, like, I need a secondary bow person. And her bow skills actually get really good towards the end. And I was like, okay, no, you're not switching over to... she was sword and axe. She wanted to focus on sword. And I was like, no, what we're going to do is we're going to do sword and bow. You're going to become an assassin. And she's like, okay. And, does that. And so you can, if you wanted to, you could just force them into like, this person's this person's that, this person's this. But the beauty of the game is that because you get to know the characters, you start to feel for them. And whenever someone asks me like, can I do this? I'm kind of, it takes me a second to be like, oh yes, no. So I'm playing a fucking video game. I need to win. But I kind of just want to like let it go and be like, yes, sure, you do whatever you want, guys. Like, part of me wants to be the cool teacher, and then part of me wants to be the drill instructor, and it's mind-boggling. This game it's incredible. Like I said, I'm 15 hours in. By all accounts, I have got like 75 hours to go, and there is stuff that happens in this game. Combat-wise, like I put it on normal difficulty. I'm not actually interested. Like the combat's fine. It's a tactics game. You move the pieces. There's little bits and there's little extras on top of the combat. But the combat is honestly like, I'm happy that it's easy. I'm happy that I can just breeze through those battles and not worry about it too much. I'm happy it's on casual, so I'm not losing characters. I'm keeping the ones that I'm building a connection with. I'm getting through that story. I'm happy with all of that game. The way it's set out right now is just pitch perfect for me. I cannot wait to keep playing that game. And there is a part of me that thinks that what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this because you can restart it. and do different houses, doing the Black Eagle playthrough, and then probably leaving it for a while.
Yeah.
But whenever this feels like the kind of game that whenever there's a downtime in video games, I might just go back and be like, I might try the Blue Lions or the Golden Stag. We'll just see what the other ones are.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be expansions as well, so I don't know what that's going to mean.
Okay.
Whether that's going to be extra story content on top, maybe a fourth house, I
Yeah.
don't know. But holy shit, that game's incredible.
Yeah.
If anyone gets a chance to, you should play Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's great.
Should I get round to it at some point?
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think you should. You
Okay.
should. Even if you only go into it and go like, it's not for me, I really think it is valuable for everyone to at least see how this game starts up, and sort of see what is happening. Because my general feeling is that I don't think there's a person, specifically like us, video games, anime, that kind of intersection of people.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single person like that who would play the first 10 hours of this game and not be hooked.
Okay.
Because there's enough on everything to be hooked. Okay. I have met other members of the other houses because those characters still exist in the world and you can recruit them. I'm yet to recruit anyone. There are a couple I'm really trying for because literally out of 2 or 3 interactions, I'm like, I want you on my team. I want you on my team. You can fuck off. I want my there are so many people like that I want.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because there's a lot of systems happening. It is overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's whenever you go to recruit someone and they say no, they'll be like, hey, they favor this stat and this stat, so you got to increase that stat. And I'm not sure if that means that my class has to increase that stat or whether me specifically has to have that stat increased.
Okay.
And I haven't quite figured that out yet. And I kind of don't want to Google anything about this game.
That's fair.
Because I don't want anything spoiled. But yeah, I would think that if you were to play this game, you would actually you would get hooked and you would find it. There are some people on the other 2 houses that I know that are complete trash humans, but that's kind of the fun of it.
Yeah.
There's sort of a bit of it that's because you can actually go because it's all about building relationships and connections between people and all that kind of stuff, and you can kind of coach them. There's a particular womanizing piece of shit in one of the houses, and every time I see him, he talks to me about hitting a girl, and I'm just like, no, stop, you're a bad example, stop. And I'm just telling him no every time, which is cathartic in a way.
Maybe that's why they wrote it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's so much in there where I'm like, holy shit. They think about it. Petra, the character I was talking about before, she is part of the Empire, but her land is like a taken over territory.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Think of it like a Native American type situation where it's there was a land and these colonials came in and were like, this is our land now. Yeah. And you find out later on, the reason she's a princess from that land, and the reason that she was brought over was as a bargaining chip about for that king to be you behave, you listen to our empire or she dies.
Jesus
that's what her life was when she was brought over. And when she was brought over, she didn't know a word of English. She didn't know any of this, how to act or behave. And she's grown up in that society.
Jesus.
And...
You right?
You hearing music?
I am not. I will look around and see if there's anything I need to turn off.
Just suddenly was like, what the fucking jeez. I hope someone else heard that on the stream. Because if not... I'm going nuts.
It might be someone.
Maybe,
upstairs.
who knows? Anyway, she gets to the point where she's like, I've grown up in this world all the way it is, and it's not great, but I have come to accept it and try to do her best to move forward and all that kind of stuff. And she's a very strong character, and I really, really like her. But it's just the little things the way they've written her lines and her dialogue.
Is her English not perfect sort of thing?
No, it's exactly that. It's just it is that amazing. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how someone writes this way. But you can tell she was taught by someone who knows proper English, but she can't quite make the connections yet.
Yeah.
So she'll say things like, I am having great difficulty.
Yeah. It's how toddlers speak. They try their logic out the language when that's not how this fucking language works.
Yes, exactly. And she'll be saying things like, "Oh, what are you wanting?
Yeah.
Are you be looking for helping or something like that?" And she just it's like the right word. She's just using the adjective instead of the noun or the verb instead of the noun, or just like slight tweaks.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound bad or grating or like a caricature. It sounds endearing.
Yeah.
Like she's trying, and she says several times, like, I can read it, I can write it, I'm really good at that, but I just can't quite get the speaking of the language down yet. And there was an interaction I had with her recently where she was like, "What does this phrase mean? I fell for it." She's like, "What's the context there? How does that, what does that mean?" And I'm like, this is an amazing conversation to have.
Yeah. It also sounds like well done to the translators as well. Yeah,
the localization seems to be just pitch perfect.
Like,
it's incredible. There's also some characters that are just like fun. Manuela is one of the teachers. And she just wants to do 3 things. She wants to teach her class, she wants to drink, and she wants to fuck. That's all she wants to do. If she's not teaching her class, she is drinking and fucking. That's what she does. And you know what? I'm here. She can go. She can go. She's awesome. She's great. And it's just like, it's got every possible character you want, but again, they don't feel like stereotypes or tropes. They feel like characters that are fully fleshed out and that have character arcs. Reasons why they are the way they are. Places they are going, an agency and things they want to do, and it's like I said, it's unbelievable. And the best thing about it too is that this is probably the last thing I'll say on it. Like I said, with so the leader of the house that I've got, Edelgard, who I've really taken a liking to. She's a fantastic character. She's got all those moments where she's questioning the Empire and has like a little bit of thing. And it feels like every aspect of this world, from, the Empire to the kingdom, the actual fucking like monarchy kingdom, to the place called the Leicester Alliance, which is supposedly the closest thing to a democracy in this world.
Yep. Like a Roman sort of democracy sort of thing.
Kind of. Okay. Yeah, it's like democracy via nobility, so kind of Roman. Yeah, it's weird. It's really fucking weird.
Yep.
To the church that runs everything, like everything has this tinge of there are unspoken rules in this world that no one has dared break in like 1,000 years.
Ooh.
And so
time to break them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like everything is just like everything is don't look under that rock. I want to look under the rock. Like, you told me not to look under the rock. Now I have to look under the rock. Like I have to look under the rock.
Yeah.
And it's not characters. The characters are just acting as they normally would. Like the heads of the church just act as they normally would. Yeah. And everyone accepts it, but you as this kind of outsider, and they do a good job of like creating a character that is like an outsider of like...
Are they from a different continent or something?
No, so like his dad was his or her dad, depending on who you are. Your dad in this game was a knight of the church, and then like 20 years ago just fucking vanished. And it raised you outside of all of it. Like, didn't raise you in a kingdom, didn't raise you as the Leicester Alliance, didn't raise you as anyone. You were a mercenary, you were a traveller, and he didn't teach you anything about the church. He refused to do any of that. He basically raised you as a hermit.
Yeah.
So every time you walk into it, it allows you to do the, what are you talking about, church? Yeah. Like, it allows you to be the fish out of water.
Yeah, and then your context.
Exactly, and you get context in the way. It's like really handy.
Yeah,
in the best possible way. Yeah. It's one of those tropes, but it means that every time someone says something, I am suspicious of everyone. Everyone in that world, I'm like, what is your real motive? Everyone has an ulterior motive in this game, and I love it. I need to get home and play more. That's Fire Emblem Three Houses. Goddamn it, play it.
That's great.